The official box office numbers for the United States ended up coming in way over the expected 130 million. Now we got the worldwide totals as well, and we are seeing that Thor Love and Thunder in its opening weekend made more than 300 million. So let's talk about the effect of this. So combining all the early internationals, which of course includes Australia, the UK, and all the territories that got it ahead of the United States, then the United States, and of course the rest of the world all combined by the time Sunday is all said and done, Thor Love and Thunder will officially have made over 300 million, which 300 million for the worldwide take was the high-end estimate. Most people were saying about 280 to 290. Coming in at 302 million obviously means that this thing has performed slightly better than anybody was anticipating, and by the sounds of it, Disney was looking at around 250 to 260. So adding in about 40 million on top of what they were anticipating is honestly all icing on the cake for them. I don't see anybody over at Marvel Studios or Disney being disappointed with this. Now, the interesting thing to note here is, of course, that there's still quite a few markets that did not get this film for one reason or another, due to a delay, for example, like we talked about Malaysia, for example, due to releases, due to, things around the world happening, and there's just less theaters overall showing the film because of various circumstances. So the fact that still pulled in these types of numbers is gotta be good for them. Now, what's interesting is when you start breaking down this box office number is the fact that over 60% of the audience was male. And this is really interesting because people legit were going into this saying this is going to be the female factor. Now, I don't know why exactly that was the mentality going into it, because I think, we've seen this type of split always for Marvel Studios films, even when it came to some other ones that are pretty evenly balanced out. I think, honestly, you have to look at the franchise as a whole and not compare it to the likes of DC, which I'm seeing people compare to, specifically Aquaman, because that film had an overwhelmingly huge pull on the female audience, but of course, that was the Jason Momoa factor compared to anything else in the DCEU. So I think some people were applying that to the whole Chris Hemsworth thing, but clearly that didn't really affect anything. So it'll be interesting to see how the financials shake out over the course of the next couple weeks once all the analysis comes in. But again, this film made more internationally than it did in the US, and some people thought it would be the other way around. So quite clearly, international audiences are more hyped for Thor than US audiences, and I don't know if that means anything, but it's good nonetheless, I guess.